All right, guys. Believe it or not, we started this like 5 minutes ago, but we're back because we actually on live this time. Technical difficulties. One day, me and technology will be friends. Okay, welcome to the Right Flow Show, episode number 11. Number 11. And like we always say, we always usually define flow. Flow is like when you're in that sweet spot, you in the zone. Say if you were playing basketball and you hit like 2 or 3 shots in a row and you coming down court with the ball. I mean, you feeling real good because you in the zone. You feel like you just can't miss. Okay, I just finished a book, Blue Ocean. Blue Ocean is an excellent book. So just a little bit of recap. I know we kind of talked about that a little bit last week. I recommend Blue Ocean Strategies is a pretty good book. So say if you're a mortgage lender or a realtor and you have like your competition. So that's kind of like the red ocean because, everybody's, competing in doing the same strategies, trying to, make their way to the top. So what you would do is come up with your own unique marketing strategy or USP and kind of create your own opportunity. So that'd be like your blue ocean. So you're creating your own blue ocean marketing strategies. Also, I just want to remind everyone we have an event March 21st at All Occasions. That's in Toledo, Ohio, and it's going to be from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. That's on a Saturday. I encourage all of you guys to come out, and a portion of the proceeds from the event is going to be donated to the Beach House there in Toledo. It's a homeless shelter, and that's what I'm trying to do with these speaking events is just donate a portion of the proceeds over to a nonprofit organization, just trying to do my part as far as giving back. As far as with knowledge, money, anything we can do to help other people out. Okay, the one topic I want to discuss today, and of course, if people chime in, got any questions, you can always hit us up. One thing I wanted to talk about as far as deals falling apart. I know you probably see a lot of good things happening on the YouTube as far as, guys closing a lot of deals and making a whole lot of money. But I just wanted to share with you, it's not every day is not Monday. Every day is not Friday. Every day is not Friday. Every day you don't get paid. Sometimes it's a lot of challenges in the business as well. Speaking of this week, I mean, we came into this week expecting an outstanding week. And needless to say, we had quite a few challenges. So what we did was we put policies in place. And that's what you do when you have something that doesn't go right, no matter whether if it's in real estate or anything else. You look at the situation and then ask yourself questions, what happened? What happened? Try to get down to the root cause of what happened. And then you'll put in some policies in order to help prevent it from happening again. Now, these policies that you put in place, they may work or they may not work. But the thing is that you're just going to keep tracking the outcome of it and just keep tweaking things until you get it right. So we had some opportunities this week internally. So we had a meeting, we had a little huddle, we had an issue, we were going for the touchdown and we didn't make it. So we got sacked at the 1 yard line. So now we're 3rd and 1. So we had a huddle. And now we back into it. We got a game plan, and we're going for the score. We're gonna hand it off to Marshawn Lynch. Lane scored that touchdown. All right. So you have opportunities in the business, but the most important thing is how you react to it. And that's just like anything else. You have problems, and a large portion of the problem is how you react to it. Just keeping your mental kind of level. And that's, can be it can be challenging. And then just, stay calm, cool, collective, and just kind of think your way through the situation. Now, what we had wasn't like catastrophic or anything, but we still use the same strategies in order to solve the problems. This is just a small little bump in the road, but we put some policies in place so we can correct it and keep going. Another thing, what I got coming along, like I do this show, once a week. Try to, share some knowledge, share some information, what's going on in the business. But start doing these more often. I've committed to doing these daily, not for this length. It'd just be like a short pop in. But, if you see me pop on live, I mean, you can step in, ask a few questions. If you got a few questions you want to ask, you want to share some information, that's all good. But I'll be popping in on live very, very often. So that's my commitment. Coming soon. Don't have an exact date, but it's going to be coming soon. I would say probably within a week or so, we'll be doing these little pop-ins, pop-ups. The Wright Show pop-up, Armand pop-ups. So I see we got two people. One thing I'm using is the StreamYard. I noticed it was just a little bit lagging. Does anybody see any lagging? Am I coming across clear? I'm assuming I am. But yeah, if you got any lagging on your end, if you can just make a comment in the section. But more about the events. What I do these live events, and when you come out to the live events, not like your typical event. Like say, for example, a lot of guys come to town and they talk about their real estate strategies and they give you just enough just to get you to come back. That's not how we doing things. You know what I mean? Like say a lot of guys, you come out and they give you the hype, the hype event for you to come back for the all day event or for the 2-day event, things like that. Now, when you come to my events, you getting a whole enchilada. We answer your questions. We gonna just try to just overwhelm you with everything. You know what I mean? Pretty much showing you the whole business. And then, if you choose to work with us, your choice. If you choose to work with us, then we open up the opportunity for you to work with us continually. But the whole purpose of the event is to arm you with enough knowledge where you can go out there and make some things happen. I encourage you to have a mentor, but if you want to go out there and be the Lone Ranger, it's all good. So when you come to the event, you can ask as many questions as you want, and we plan on over delivering you with all the information, pretty much how we do the business. And mainly what we focus in on is the owner financing strategies. So like the subject to, the lease options, the land contracts, those type of strategies, as well as wholesaling. Another thing too, we got a little piece we add in as far as private money. So we not only show you the business, but show you how you can go out there and get the money so you don't have to use that. That's my main thing when I talk about where you don't have to use none of your own money, none of your own credit in order to make money in the business. That's the most smart, most intelligent way to get started. And then if you're already in the business, of course, you could take your business to the next level by implementing these owner financing strategies. Thank you. Thanks, Ant, for sharing out the video. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Hey, gonna come up to the event March 21st, having it at all occasions over there at Randy's spot. So if you can come up there, greatly appreciate it. Plus, share it out. I'm gonna be posting that up a lot on the Facebook, about the event. I appreciate you guys coming out. And like I said, the portion of the event is going towards the beach house that homeless shelter over there. So we'll open it up for questions. Any questions, comments? One thing I wanted to share, like a lot of times guys, ladies starting a business, and I just had a discussion with a gentleman earlier, and finally, sometimes you say something to people like, over and over again, but then they finally see, they get to, finally see exactly what you're talking about. That's another thing too. Like a lot of times in the business, which, a lot of people already know, like you make an offer on a property, the seller may say no, or they may say maybe, or they think about it or something like that. So it's all about overcoming that objection. But the real money in this business, a lot of times you're going to get no on the first go around. But the money is in the follow-up. The following up with folks. So say you make an offer today and they don't sign. You got to continue to follow up with these folks. And that's how you get the deals done. This is not the type of business where you can sit down and make 3, 4, 5 phone calls and get a deal and, you're going to sign it over tomorrow or the next day and make a quick buck. It's not like that. You got to be in this game for the long haul. So you're sending out 3, 4, 5 offers, and then you got to follow up with these people to get them to sign. I once had to follow up with a lady. This was the most I followed with one person. It was 17 times in order to get her to sign the contract. So you follow up. It's just a process. So that being said, we are going to feature. We don't got no drums. We need a drum roll so we can have the one and only. All right, here we go. We got homemade drums on the side of the desk. Are you guys ready? Introducing the one and only S-A-M, Sam. Here she comes. Let's give it up for Sam. I guess you guys can do the internet clap. I don't know what that is, but there we go. Internet clap.
Hey guys. So yeah, like our mom was talking, a lot of it is all in the follow-up. The money is in the follow-up. I've been working really hard with one guy who is a huge potential for our business. He's got a lot of houses and a lot of money to spend, but he's kind of slow. He's dragging behind on signing these deals and everything. So the money truly is in the follow-up. So you got to make sure that you're following up with them. Every day, every other day, phone calls, emails, texts, whatever you got to do to follow up with them. Make sure you're following up, because that's where the money is. Without it, you're lost. You're going to miss out on all those great deals. We're looking at 4 or 5 houses, both that are good amounts of money. So, you got to stay with the follow-up. It's going to be very tedious at times. It's going to be annoying at times because you're going to have to keep talking and going back and forth, and a lot of times they may not answer again, and you're going to be playing a wonderful game of phone tag, but just stick with it. The money's in the follow-up. Without that, you're just going to be having to call 1,000 people just to get that one deal or whatnot. You're going to have to call a lot of people. If you don't do your follow-ups, you're going to end up calling a lot more people than what you could have to call. So stick with the follow-ups. Don't get too drugged down by it or bogged down by it. Take a break, come back, get right back to it, because that's where your money's going to be.
Awesome. Thank you, Sam. See, that's pretty good, because you guys are getting to hear exactly the strategies that we're using and the different challenges that we're actually going through. Because I know, a lot of people, they like to highlight everything is great. Every day is Friday, which if every day was Friday, we wouldn't have those other 6 days, right? So every day is not Friday. I mean, of course, we have wins and we celebrate our wins, but when we're in the trenches, and that's when you're in the trenches, you're making those follow-up calls. And as far as when you're making the phone calls, I know some people have that, what we call call reluctance. And that's where a lot of people buy into a lot of these strategies, the direct mail, the ringless voicemail, the text messages, looking for this automated software that's just going to do the work for you. Now, I'm not trying to knock nobody's system or anything like that. Those systems are effective. But one thing that is more effective, especially at the very beginning, is that when you're on the phone with that seller and you're building your skill level, because you can use all these systems to, get these leads coming to you. But once, as a one song would say, once I give it to you, what you gonna do with it, right? So once you get the practice in and you get those no's and you overcoming those objections, and then you're doing the follow-ups, and you're working with the seller, you're trying to solve their problem. Because when you get that seller on the phone, you get that buyer on the phone, you get that investor on the phone, what's the position that you should be in, and this position that I teach, is that you want to be in a position where you can help them. How can you solve their problem? So if you got a buyer, they're looking to buy a property, what can I do to help them buy the property? So do they need a property where they can get into, like rent to own, like a lease option or a land contract? Or do they have good enough credit where they need to go over to a mortgage lender and get a property traditionally? What if they don't have the money or have the credit? What do you do then? So we got a couple of different strategies where we kind of lead them down what we call the path to home ownership, telling them different things that they can do in order to position themselves so they can start that path to home ownership. So that's the thing, you're looking to help folks, whether it's the buyer or seller, because you have some sellers that's in a position where they will sell their property at a steep discount for various different reasons. But for vast majority of people, not really doing that. And sometimes when you bring that up to people right off the bat, you kind of like offending them. So say, for example, if you talk to the seller for the first time and you hit them with that low ball offer, you just kind of took that relationship that, say you were starting off here, and you just took and widen that gap. So that's another reason why we really don't lead off with that, or really just specialize in just in wholesaling. You know, if wholesaling, a lot of people, that's the only thing they do. So, you know, if you that's like one tool in our toolbox. So if you had a hammer, only thing, everything you see is a nail, which, you know, that's not actuality. You know, you got a hammer, you got nails, you got screws, you know, you got to have different tools, you know what I mean? So that's what we have. We got to have like a whole toolbox so we can solve all different types of problems. You might have a seller that's, you know, want to do a lease option, want to do a land contract. You may can acquire the property on a land contract, acquire it on subject to, or maybe they don't want to do none of that. You know, they just want all cash. And then in that type of scenario, we've flip that deal off to maybe we bring in a realtor. I'm a realtor, or you know, we could possibly introduce them to a realtor for X. You know what I mean? So it's just a lot of different things you can do once you learn the different strategies and develop the different dialogue. So my thing is like when you're on the phone talking to the sellers, it's like a training. You're in training, you know. So when you're using the automated software, it's to kind of like cut out that training opportunity. Of course, you can push the button and, you know, send out a bunch of information. You get these what you call in warm leads back, people that said yes, and then you call them up. But since you haven't developed a skill, that, you know, that's still, you're gonna have some opportunities there. So that's what I encourage people to do, is just you know, start off, you know, developing that skill level first, and not really buying into, especially at the very beginning, not buying into the automated software or doing a direct mail. Just really, because you know that's gonna cost money. If you had the money, you know, I still think it'd be better suit for you taking that money, hiring a mentor so they can kind of coach you, guide you on developing your skill so you can get better. And then you can develop you a team. And then if you choose to bring in some software later on, then you can go down that route. Another thing I wanted to mention too, we're looking to have these events more often. So like the next one is in Toledo, Ohio, March 21st. It's on a Saturday from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. We have another one in Detroit, Michigan. It's going to be in May 23rd. And then on May 30th, we're having one in Anderson, Indiana. We don't have the locations locked up, but we do have the dates locked up. Then we'll be looking to have one in Tampa. We're still working on that one in Tampa. I know I've been talking about it for a minute, but we're closer. I guess we're closer to what we were yesterday, but we're still a work in progress. Also, I'm going to have a guest on the show coming up probably in a couple of weeks. It's going to be the Wholesale Diva. I don't know if anybody's familiar with the Wholesale Diva, but she's full of energy. She is truly, she's an excellent teacher, speaker. She's been coaching in the business for a long time, actually. And it would be a good honor to have her on the show. She's going to share her brilliance with everyone. So that's going to be coming up in a couple of weeks. And if you're watching this in the replay or just watch it in your timeline or whatever, I encourage you to, you know, ask questions, comment, share it. You know, we're just out here trying to do our part as far as trying to help people. So on that note, we're going to get ready to wrap this show up. Thank you guys for tuning in and watching. And we'll be doing these shows every Thursday. And, you know, stay on the lookout for the pop-ups. I'm gonna be doing pop-ups, you know, during the day. We're gonna be popping in, doing quite a few more of these lives. Also, if you're interested in our coaching program, you can go with workwitharmand.com. Workwitharmand.com. We got it in the comment section, so you just click on that and schedule a time where we can talk. And, you know, if you got some pressing questions, you know, about the real estate business, I'll be more than happy to answer those questions. And, you know, if you want to get involved with the coaching program, we can talk about that too, see if we're a good fit. All right, until next week, you guys have a safe weekend. Peace, love, and prosperity. All right, all right. And then